Friends, yesterday, in one of our Silver Jubilee lectures at the Institute, the writer-historian, Mr. Ramachandra Guha, said that unlike doctors, scientists, engineers, and teachers, writers work for themselves and are thus self-centered and selfish. Yet, Dr. Kalam writes, why does he write and what does he write? This is his 13th book. The very first book is called Developments in Fluid Mechanics and Space Technology by APJ Abdul Kalam and Rodam Narasimha, published by the Academy of Sciences in 1988. Not of general purpose interest, it's a technical book. Then it followed with India 2020, a vision for the new millennium. And then the million-copy seller, Wings of Fire. That was followed by Ignited Minds, The Luminous Sparks, Mission India, Inspiring Thoughts, Indomitable Spirit, Envisioning an Empowered Nation, You're Born to Blossom, Turning Point, A Journey Through Challenges, and now Squaring the Circle. You would agree with me that in having written these, Dr. Kalam has proved Ramachandra Guha wrong. He has not been selfish. He has not been self-centered. His books are for you and me, not for himself. And yet you notice in today's book release, the title itself is intriguing and challenging. All the others that I read were all one that inspired people. This intrigues people. That's very important. And the title itself is intriguing. Squaring the Circle. It's been thought to be impossible from the days of the Greek scholars and mathematicians of India. Since it demands the use, you cannot square a circle. Geometrically, since it demands the use of the square root of pi, and pi happens to be a transcendental number or irrational number, as he. Philosophers have thought about it, mathematicians have thought about it, and it continues to be a challenge. Dante, not Inferno, but Paradiso, wrote about this. As the geometer his mind applies to square the circle, nor all his wit finds the right formula, however he tries. Alexander Pope, in 1743, in his poem, wrote, Mad Mathesis alone was unconfined, too mad for mere material chains to bind. Now to pure space lifts her ecstatic stare, now running round the circle finds it square. So what is Dr. Kalam asking? I must thank Madhu Reddy, he gave me the book well ahead of time so I could do my homework. His challenges is in a more everyday, non-mathematical sense. This is akin to the Latin proverb, aut inveniam viam aut faciem. I will either find a way or make one. If I don't see a way, I'll go ahead and make one. This is the challenge he's asking us. Note too, the style of the book. Unlike all the others, this is more a dialogue between him and Dr. Tiwari. It's Upanishadic, as they have written. It's also Socratic, because the thought seems to have occurred to Dr. Kalam when you're sitting in that cave, standing in that cave, where actually Socrates once was. And I think it's particularly important that such a book comes in today because in an atmosphere that is clouded with negativity, he is a positivist. He is not a logical positivist. Logical positivism is one where they reject everything else except what is experimentally verifiable rather than personal experience. That's logical positivism. Kalam positivism, on the other hand, blends personal experience, blends science and faith, belief and verification seamlessly together. He believes that all are created equal. There are only minuscule differences in the DNA between any one of us and any one of you, the kind that doesn't affect the mind or imagination in any significant manner. The entire book is a question-answer thing, and the questions are equally challenging. Oftentimes, the question that Dr. Tiwari asks leads Dr. Kalam to go a little out, to venture to newer paths, and then attempt to see if he has answered the question. Tiwari isn't satisfied. He repeats the question. He reposes the question in a different manner. So it's really battle of equals that comes about here. Hence the idea of igniting minds. You ignite the mind and you challenge it to square the circle. He asks questions and poses issues worth thinking about. You know, in 2004, when Dr. Kalam was the president, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, one of my friends in Trieste, Italy said, you know something significant, unusual, unique about India? The only country where both the prime minister and the president can solve differential equations. It's true. So we come and we breathe and we support and we look to people like Dr. Kalam. He just now mentioned about Pura, the provision of urban amenities to the rural people. What does it mean? It means a villager becomes a better villager, more equipped villager. Villagers don't go to town. Town comes to the village. Once again, is it squaring the circle, Dr. Kalam? What's a circle? It's a circle of existence. What's a square? When we accept that everything is unified and we realize this by personal experience, the veil lifts and we perceive everything just as it is, unfolding with a purpose. We cross a bridge into an experience which we consistently receive all we need and require. I witness the universe taking care of me, and oh my dear reader, if you're alert, you would too. May you and your children live in a developed India.